Although the official release date of the iPhone 15s is September 2023, there is already a lot of information circulating about these devices. We already know a lot about it, although it may seem far away. Despite the wide range of speculation about Apple's next generation models, it is likely that we will have 4 versions similar to this year. This includes the normal, Plus, Pro and Pro Max versions. Recently, there were rumors that Apple planned to release a more advanced iPhone 15 Ultra, but according to analysts, the company decided to wait until 2024 before launching this exclusive device. Although it seems increasingly likely that the upcoming iPhone 14 Pro Max will be a major upgrade to its predecessors, there are still unknowns about how it will differ from the version of the protocol we will see the new iPhone during the video. While the design is not exceptionally innovative, some changes are likely to be made to all models. Apple's new product models have been leaked, suggesting that the edges will be curved instead of straight this time. This could potentially offer more comfort and a more premium aesthetic. There is a lot of speculation about Apple's plans to eventually replace the standard buttons with touch-sensitive buttons like volume up and down, and lock. Whether this is true or not will only be revealed in the near future. If you recall, the iPhone 7 had a button that wasn't really clickable, it just provided a vibrating feel. It was similar to what Apple did with the iPhone 7 and offered users an imitation of pressing a real button. Apple should consider making changes to its upcoming iPhone 15 to maximize its use of space. This, in turn, would benefit all users of the device. Furthermore, it has been confirmed that the modification will only be available on the iPhone Pro and Pro Max models, as its inclusion in the entry-level model can significantly reduce its price. That's my understanding, at least. The screen of the iPhone 15 and iPhone 14 Pro Max is expected to be slightly larger than the current models, especially with a 6.2-inch and 6.7-inch screen respectively. This will give more room for content without making it too big to handle. Recent reports suggest that Apple was able to increase the screen size without making any other changes to the size of their phones. This means that they were able to increase the screen size by 0.1 inches without making their phones larger. Apple removes the visible bezels from their iPhones, giving them a more modern and pleasing look. It's amazing that even now, there are still a lot of bezels on iPhones. The upcoming iPhone 15 is expected to surpass other Android smartphones in terms of features. This could be a big step forward for Apple users. Apple would have integrated the dynamic island feature on all models this time, which I think is great news. I personally use this feature regularly and can attest to its usefulness. Many of you will probably be happy to finally get your hands on it. It's no secret that the Pro version of Small X will have a higher refresh rate than its competitors. That said, it's a shame that this feature is not available in other versions, because it is quite intriguing. For example, Samsung also offers similar products with advanced specifications. It's a shame that the S23 and S23 Ultra were split in terms of screen, with the former having 120Hz screens and the latter having none. Nowadays, we expect to find a higher refresh rate even on smartphones with a price tag of around €500. As such a rate becomes a standard. Although there is a small inconvenience, those who wonder whether a camera and Touch ID will be integrated into the screen can now rest easily because these features are now available. Unfortunately, it seems that the notch and dynamic island features will not be removed in the near future despite recent discussions about new features being implemented in the 2024 or 2025 versions. For now, we haven't found a suitable solution to solve this problem. Despite the competition, Apple has yet to unveil an under-screen camera. However, other companies have managed to create successful versions of this technology with satisfactory pixel density. Nevertheless, so far, Apple has not yet found a viable solution that would make its products fully transparent. Nevertheless, Dynamic Island seems to be the closest thing to a resolution at the moment. I strongly believe that this change is beneficial and would like to explain why in more detail. A dedicated video could be created to further illustrate its benefits over performance. There is still a clear difference between the standard and Pro versions of the iPhone 15. The normal version will have the same chip as the iPhone 14 Pro, while the Pro model will have an A17 chip. We're talking about a quantum leap in technology with the possibility of a 3 nanometers chip. This could mean a lot more power and efficiency according to some speculation. If this turns out to be true, it would be absolutely revolutionary. By introducing the new technology, we should have anticipated a 3 to 4 hour gain in battery life, which could really put Apple ahead of the competition, especially in graphics where it was starting to fall behind its biggest rivals. We saw a major improvement in the RAM capacity of the Pro versions, going from 6GB to 8GB. It may not seem like much, but it's a great move by Apple to provide this extra power and speed. For photographers, this is definitely a time to shine. To provide context, Apple has accumulated years of knowledge and experience. I've tested many smartphones for their ability to take photos and videos, and Apple was my first choice. However, with recent launches like the S23 Ultra and the Xiaomi 13 Pro, I'm now more inclined to say that there are other contenders that can match or even surpass Apple in this regard. From the feedback I've seen, people who have tested Samsung generally agree with my opinion. Also, if we take a closer look at what Honor or other brands are doing, the support for Samsung devices becomes even more apparent. Apple has been feeling the heat in terms of photography, but it seems they have started to take some initiative. By opting for a 48-megapixel prime lens from Sony, they are trying to stay ahead of the curve. This is just one of the steps they are taking to move up market in photography. However, this camera has been reworked to use enhanced features for better performance in low light and more challenging conditions. The latest feature they've included is a 10x optical zoom, which means you can zoom in without compromising quality, especially in daylight and when using HDR. This feature is really useful for getting sharper results. Unfortunately, the new optics will only be available on the Pro Max models due to their enhanced camera modules. Indeed, the smaller size of the standard Pro version may not have enough room for a good design. The iPhone 15s will not have the best battery life, however, it will be available in Pro Max version. Even if it is not optimal, it is still a good addition to the phone's features. Rumors suggest that the upcoming iPhone 14 will feature a 48-megapixel main sensor, which would be an upgrade from the previous version and will provide better resolution of image details. For now, there are speculations that 12 megapixels should remain with minor improvements. Until the facts are established, I can't provide more details on this. Analysts suggest that the release date of the product/service is scheduled for September 23. Although there is nothing extraordinary, we have an exciting keynote coming in September. To make sure you don't miss any information, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel and Instagram page. Don't forget to check for updates on the price too. Due to the current inflationary pressures, it is highly likely that the price of the iPhone 15 will see a slight increase. This is mainly due to factors such as energy costs, components, logistics and other related expenses that all contribute to the price increase. Conversely, speculation suggests that Apple may decide to keep some models, with the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus being able to be sold at a more affordable price than the current 14 versions. This way, they could keep customers interested in their products. To benefit more, the premium versions of the product must be offered at a higher price. We're not sure what the final cost will be, but the Pro Max version of Apple's new product is expected to be expensive, over €2,000 with minimum storage. But if the company manages to keep the price of the standard models at a reasonable level, it would be a great success. Apple is known for never compromising on margin when it comes to its products. If they have done so for the iPhone 15, this will be great news for users of any other iPhone model and for those looking for a highly professional device. Investing money in this idea is not a huge surprise. It is similar to what we have with Apple MacBooks. Therefore, the concept of this one doesn't really shock me. Well, that's all the news I have about the new iPhone 15s. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss my next videos on iOS 17 when they arrive shortly. Until then, goodbye and take care.